All right, all right, all right. What's up, Fit Fam? What's up, IOM? Welcome to another version of the Body Garage. This is going to be a super special, funky edition. If you could just kind of start bouncing around, it could be just stepping, it could be just wiggling around, just a little dance. I want you to start moving those molecules for me. We've got a little shoulder roll, a little shimmy. We've got a 30-minute class, all body weight. I am barefoot because that's how I prefer to operate when I can. It's all body weight. It's going to be just keep doing your little dance. Literally, all I need you to do is just shake your joints out, right? Generate a little heat, get that fluid moving a little bit. So it's all body weight, and we're gonna focus on. There's a power theme tonight, so or today, or whatever time it is that you're watching this. Because that's the convenience that we have of broadcasting and recording. So whatever time of day it is, power's the focus, body weight is the tool, and all I need is your participation. Or you can just watch, but it's much more effective if you actually do it. So without further ado, let's get this garage going. Okay, so let's start with a nice, easy step jack, right? I'm going to show a few variations of each movement, and I'm going to start from the kind of hoplite version, and then we're going to go up to kind of a samurai version, and then we're going to go to a Spartan version. And you pick whatever's right for you, right? So if you just want to just step and jack, or just kind of step and stir the pot, or whatever, at this point, that's fine. If you want a little bit more, you can just go into some kind of baby jumping jacks. If you want a little bit more than that, what you can do is just full on jumping jacks. All right, but either way, we're gonna do about, I don't know, 10 more reps of this. You've probably been doing this for a little while already, so I won't keep you here too long. We're going to get a warm up. We're gonna make sure all our joints feel good, and then we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of the actual workout. Okay, so let's start with a big little shakeout. Like you don't have to do any jumping jacks or anything anymore, but I do want to shake out joint by joint. Hands, gimme, gimme, gimme. Chop, chop, chop. Puppy dog. That is a terrible mental image, but nobody forgets it, right? You always want to warm your hands up when you're doing body weight stuff. You always want to warm your hands up. I'm just going to come on down here and talk to you while I stretch knees and ankles. You always want to warm up your wrists, all the small joints, right, when you're going to be loading them a bit. So it's important to flex, extend, to get them nice and warm, especially if it's a little chilly where you are, right? The longer the warm-up should be, the colder the temperatures. So plan for success with that strategy in mind. Okay, so as you'll notice, I've started to kind of bounce up and down. That's an option. You can just hang out, or you can be standing up. Let's go to our shoulders. And then let's go, I'm sorry, elbows, not shoulders. Elbows, and then up to shoulders, please. Big old windmills here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it into a spider complex. And we might add a little flavor to that, but spider complex is one of my kind of go-tos that gets all the major joints in the body. And if you want to follow along, it's going to be more effective than not. So here we go. What I'd love for you to do is you're going to swan dive down, and then you're going to let the weight of your body kind of do the work for you here, right? You've got a nice dynamic stretch. I like to bounce a lot because it keeps things stretchy and it keeps tissues happy. I'm going to play a few chords on my imaginary piano here, and if you notice, I'm swaying side to side while I twist. I find that adds a little dynamism to the stretch, a little more depth to the stretch. So once we've kind of played our piano chords out, we're going to load up our hands. Boop, 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 boop. Good thing we warm those up. And we're kind of in a plank. Well, we're exactly in a plank. And what we're going to do now is we're going to kick those hips back and up into a downward facing dog. And I'm going to get a little kind of personal flavor in my down dog. Everybody has different levels of tension, and it's important that you observe that. You don't have to do something exactly how I'm doing it or how the person next to you is doing it, but I'm loading up this right shoulder, externally rotating to create some space here behind that, what do you call that, ear and shoulder blade. Here we go. I'm swaying side to side. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my plank. I'm going to go just to reset all the tissues. Then I'm going to come back into that downward facing dog, and I'm going to kick 1, 2. We're going to go 5 times. And while I'm kicking with my right leg, my left heel is going to stay down. And I think this is 5. I'm going to do the next one just because I'm feeling a little tight today. That left heel down. Go ahead and swing through into a runner's lunge. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what's going on. So knee is going to be down here. Let me finish that last part. Left heel down is going to make sure that when you kick, you're stretching out all this posterior chain back here, right? So once we've kicked up into our runner's lunge, we're going to bring our back knee down. What's the best angle for this? I think if I turn this way, it'll be better. Yeah, there we go. All right, so hands are on the inside of your, what do you call that there? That's your foot, right foot. And if you want to go deep down, you're more than welcome to. That right elbow is going to gauge the depth and the extensibility of your hamstring. If you don't want to, that's totally fine with me, all right? Just find what works for you, make it happen. So what we're going to do from here, kiddos, is we're going to raise that left knee, and I want you to plant this shoulder here. You're going to externally rotate to stack those joints and twist towards this closed hip. It's my right hip. It's the far hip from the screen, from the camera. And then we're going to bring it back down. We're going to plant and load our right shoulder, dropping this left heel in the back, coming up onto the blade of the foot. And I'm going to stack my shoulders the other way. So we've got a nice counter twist into this. I don't know what you call this. I know what you call it in the martial art of capoeira. This is called a esquiva. But we could just call it that if you want to. It doesn't really matter what you call it as long as you do it well. So from there, what you're going to do is you're going to take this leg that's been loaded up all this time. You're going to unload it back to a downward facing dog. Now you're going to continue on the right side and kick up and then open those hips over to the right. Let this right leg hang in a scorpion. Try to lift that knee as high as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to go from scorpion, a very deadly desert arachnid, into a very non-deadly pigeon pose. So just swing that leg through. If you have to take it in a few steps, totally fine. Like I said, make it your movement, okay? So when you're in your pigeon pose, I want you to pull that left hip forward, that right hip back. Keep your hands straight. We don't want to like collapse down because the angles, we want this, a couple reasons. We want the spine to drive down and back into the hips and kind of create that line of force that creates a kind of a neutral hip position. But also, we're turning everything on right now. You can chill and collapse all over yourself at the end of class during the cool down, but for now, we kind of want to upregulate that nervous system and that sympathetic tone. Okie dokie. So we've got our pigeon pose, bouncing around a little bit to ask a little more range from our tissues. Now we're going to lift through hips, heart, boom, right back to our plank position. And guess what, kiddos? We're going to start on the second side. We're going through these. I know it's a lot, but we're going to go through the same sequence. So we're going to start downward facing dog. Walk your dog, paw your dog, whatever you want to do. Left leg kicks up 5 times, keeping that right heel down in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Big swing through to a runner's lunge. Yeah. Hello, hip tension. All my desk warriors out there, all my couch athletes, whatever you are, somewhere in between, maybe not on that spectrum at all. Your hips never lie. And this is one of my favorite dynamic hip openers, the runner's lunge. We're going to take it deep if you want as an option. Oh, that's nice. And then we're going to bring it right back up, loading the right arm, externally rotate, and externally rotate the shoulder, that is. We're internally rotating our spine. Hello, wall, or Aunt Barbara, whatever, whoever's over there to your left. And let those hips drop. It's important to load the shoulders up, let the hips drop so we can get some extension out of those hip flexors. Squeezing the glute on the back of the extended leg is also a great way to get some more range out of that hip flexor. Okay, I think that's long enough. Bring that left arm down, stack it up. Boom, right foot. Sorry, this is a terrible angle, isn't it? Let me switch. So left arm is down, Externally rotate, load that left shoulder. Externally rotate the right foot, that extended leg. Come up onto the bladed foot and stack those joints. I'm actively pushing with my shoulder. It's a subtle movement, but it really brings the adductors into the equation. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we go to back to our runner's lunge. Deadly desert arachnid. Scorpion. Kick it up and through. Load those shoulders. Heels are down. Well, heel, that is, right heel. And try to lift that flying knee as high as possible to wake those glutes up. 3, 2, 1. Desert arachnid and city bird, I guess, to a pigeon pose. Alrighty, so once again, we don't want to slouch over our forward leg. We want to plant in. We want to actively drive our hips down and back while we counter rotate, bringing the right hip forward in this case and the left hip back, and we're just going to breathe. I like to add a little bit of bounce, personal preference, whatever floats your boat, my friends. So here's what we've got tonight. I'm going to go through the exercises. I'm going to demo everything before we actually do it. Every work set is 1 minute. And sometimes I lose track of time, so it might be a little more than a minute, but it will never be less than a minute. I can guarantee you that. And there's 5 movements. So really we've got 15 minutes of work to do. Sorry, that was an unceremonious exit from your pigeon pose, wasn't it? Just get out of however you want. Just come to a squat. And let's stand up, and I'm going to go over the menu tonight. So we've got our warm-up down, right? Our first movement is going to be a pushing movement, right? So we're actually going to be back on the ground, but I want to keep you moving while I go through this. You keep jumping up and down like a crazy person, and I'm going to demo this very highly technical and little heard of fanciest moves called a push-up. So what I want you to do is, you can come on down with me now. What I want you to do is we're going to start from a kneeling position, right? And as I mentioned, tonight's theme is about power. So what we're going to do is we're going to accelerate from the ground as quickly as possible, okay? So instead of just banging out reps and what I did 1,000 push-ups yesterday, what I want you to do is we're always focused about more quality over quantity. And in Body Garage and any other amazing academic body, you want to focus on doing things right before you do them a lot. So what I'm going to have you do is make sure there aren't any metal shavings on your workout mat. First of all, you're going to take your shoulder blades, and I want you to keep them down in your back pockets, right? In fact, your whole posterior chain is going to be on. And what we're going to do is we're going to push up from a kneeling position, keeping the elbows pretty tight into the rib cage. You can lower down as slowly as you like, but what we're going to focus on this evening is getting up off the ground as quickly as possible. Now let's tie in the breath with that, and we're going to inhale at the top, hold at the bottom. You can inhale at the bottom if you want, but you don't have to suck in a bunch of dirt. It's not really I'm not a fan of that. And exhale on the way up, just like a rocket ship. Okie dokie. So that's the first variation, and trust me, these will pick up in speed. I just want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what's going on and how to do it well. So your next variation is a worm push-up, right? Or you can do a regular push-up. So it's going to be chest, hips, and then knees, and lower down as one. Chest, hips, knees, nice and quick. Lower down as one, or you can bang out a push-up as quickly as possible. Okie dokie. I'll add in one more variation just because I like a lot of variety. It is the spice of life, after all. That's a hand release push-up. This is going to add a bit of force to the movement. So, and all of this is optional. Hand release push-ups going to start from a retracted position and right back up and down, and down. Okay, so if you're ready to go, you should be good and warm if you've been practicing those variations. What I would love to do is run you through that first exercise. While you're recovering from that, I'm going to demo the second exercise. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Choose your flavor and go. I'm going to start regressed. I'm going to do a regressed hand release. And then I'm going to switch to just a good old-fashioned kneeling push-up, regress push-up, I guess you could call it. There's so many names for these things. Keep those shoulder blades down. Keep those glutes nice and tight. This should be a whole body exercise with a focus on acceleration and extension of those arms. And what I mean by that is, oh, how are we doing? Yeah, we got 25 seconds. What I mean by that is you should not think of a push-up as just an arm, chest, shoulders. You should be stabilizing your whole body through this. I'm going to change my form up a little bit here. Lower down. Everything is tight. I'm squeezing the bottoms of my feet. I'm squeezing my glutes. I'm squeezing my abs. How are we doing on time? We've got 5, 4, 3. Squeeze those belly buttons. 2. One more of whatever you're doing. Right back up. All right, so that's round 1 of the first exercise. Moving into the second exercise, it's going to be a squat pattern, right? So we're focused on acceleration again, just like we were with the push-up. So here's all I need you to do if squat pattern. So if like a half squat and up quick is all that is in your wheelhouse today, totally fine, right? If you feel like coming down a little farther, awesome too. Down slow, up quick, right? If you want to take it to Spartan level, what I want you to do is down, 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 little hop, and catch yourself. Down, 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 little hop. Focusing on that extension, explosion, okay? Power, power, power. So that's about a minute of rest. Here we go. Exercise number 2, the also very fancy squat pattern. 3, 2, 1, and time starts. Up quick. Load slow, up quick. Load slow, up quick. I'm going to go a little bit lower. Up quick. Load nice and slow, up quick. Load nice and slow, hop. Load slow, hop. Load slow, hop. I'm just going to keep doing this one because, well, I like it. When I get tired, I might go to something a little less grand with the range of motion. But I wanted to talk about why I like bare feet a lot. Training in bare feet allows you to communicate with the ground. If I had mattresses on my feet in the form of like my long range running shoe that I use, like a Nike Pegasus or an Innovate or something like that, ground's telling me about 200 pounds and about 400,000 neurons worth of information through my feet. And I want to be able to feel that so I can activate and react to that ground. Guess what? We got 5, 4, 3, 2. So that's why I love 1, training in bare feet. Very nice job. So third movement, we've got, we're back to the ground. Before we focused on, talking and working. That's tough. Before we focused on the acceleration, we're going to do the exact same orientation. This time we're going to focus on deceleration. So I've got my push-up position. I've got everything set up. I'm going to demo this first. Shoulders down. Everything's on. I'm going to drop down, hit the brakes. Up nice and slow. Take your time getting up. Hit the brakes. Nice and slow. Hit the brakes. Now, I would suggest extending just one leg here because using, you know what? I'm going to talk through our set. I'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1. You pick, go. You pick whatever works for you. Here's the thing about powerful movements is because power is defined as work over the time it takes to do that work, you're trying to do things as quickly and as efficiently as possible. If you got one knee up, go ahead and switch the knee. But that also is very energy expensive, right? If you think like my sport, OCR, obstacle course racing, you got to be able to run a long distance, right? But also, you have to be strong. But if you think about like triathletes versus sprinters, there's some pretty stark contrast in their body types. Wouldn't you agree? And that is because there is a distinct development in the tissues that produce power, and 5 seconds left. Produce power, and those tissues that produce endurance. Power, you use your gas tank up a lot quicker, right? So we don't necessarily have to bang out as many reps as possible in this minute set of any of these exercises. I want you to focus on creating as much tension in your system as possible and getting the work done in as little time as possible. Now, let's get agile, okay? So we're gonna give our lower body a break. Upper body a break. And what I want you to do, let me back it up actually. So if you feel like just doing a little kind of half foxtrot here, hell, you can do a foxtrot if you want. Hey, what's up? And back and foxtrot. If this is what you want to do, that's fine. I just ask that when I give you a halfway, you change directions, okay? Now, everybody else that wants a little more quickness and agility, we're going to go into snowboard hops. And all that looks like is you're carving down the mountain, left and right, left and right. That board is doing exactly what you want it to do. I'm going to throw you a monkey wrench, and I want you to hold that toe edge. 3, 2, 1, back to it. And now I want you to hold, well, I guess they're all toe edges, aren't they? Hold in the back. 3, 2, 1, right back to it. And 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to go right to skier hops. Now, if you're foxtrotting, keep on foxtrotting. If you want to step, if you feel more comfortable with that, that's great. But I would love it if you could take both of those legs and have them coordinate to explode and then load. Well, load and then explode. Load, explode, load, explode, load, explode. Boom. Create that power. If you want to get fancy, maybe you're riding some moguls, get a little distance, get a little height. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was a terrible exercise. Whose idea was that? All right, that's 4 down, kiddos. Last one, last but not least, we're kind of going upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. But what about the middle, Phil? I'm glad you asked. So this is, it's called a sprawl. If all you feel comfortable doing is an up dog to a down dog, or down dog to an up dog, that's all I want you to do. So you're going to start in a plank. We're going to squeeze glutes to protect our back. We're going to stretch out. This is your upward dog, basically, right? So we're going to stretch out the tissues of that anterior spine, of the belly, rectus, transverse, obliques, all that good stuff. And then if you want to just down dog it, totally cool. That might be what you're feeling. Now, if you want to add speed to that by closing down the tissues in that midline, then that might be enough for you. But if you want to do a full sprawl, you're going to pop those feet up and stand. And then you're going to come right back down, pop them back, land. Stand. Time starts right now. Pick your poison, whatever works for you, guys. Land it and stand it. Sprawl. Pop and stand. Pop and stand. Now you can go quick down, quick up. I'm not going to be too picky with this one because crashing into the ground with the palms isn't comfortable for everyone. Squatting and sprawling or stepping, 1, 2, and extending might be enough for everybody. Okay, how we doing? We got about 20 seconds left. Land it, sprawl it right back up. Right back up. Right back up. And let's bring it down. Progress it for the last 10 seconds. I'm going to down dog, up dog, down dog. So moving pretty forcefully. Don't forget to breathe. So to keep with that theme of power, I'm moving as quick as possible through whatever modality. 3, 2, 1. Very nice job. That's round 1. Heck yeah. Who's having fun? Me too. So if you've got some of this life-giving substance right now, right here, now's a good time to take a swig. delicious. It's like I paid way too much for this bottle of water. Doesn't make it any more effective. All right. You guys feeling good? Good. Hope so. Let's get back to it, shall we? So here's a great thing about the second round is that there isn't any, you're familiar, right? We've gone from kind of our cognitive phase of what the hell is this guy talking about to our associative phase of, all right, I'm getting these movements. And the third round we'll worry about when the third round gets here. So if I'm going to follow my lesson plan, which I am, that brings us back down to the ground. We've got push-ups with a focus on that extension. Okay? Any questions? All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can start regressed, lower slow, extend fast. Remember, whole body exercise. You can start from a full push-up position, down, down, down. Don't forget to breathe. Or you can do the full hand release push-up. Lower slow. Hand release and push. Down, down, down. Hand release and push. Whatever style works for you. Here's a little thing about breath. Turns out oxygen is vital to your survival. And if you're holding your breath while, I don't know, listening to a guy talk or taking information, it can be detrimental to your fitness experience. So find a pattern of breathing that works for you. I'm going to remind, exhale on the extension. I think that's most efficient, but whatever works for you. Guess what? In all my jib-jabbing, which is strategic, we've pushed ourselves through the second round of the first exercise of the second round. So that brings us to second exercise of the second round. Squats, whatever depth, whatever type you'd like, just keep it fast on the extension, okay? So 3, 2, 1, here we go. And low and explode. Load and explode. Load, explode. You can come up on your heels, that's totally fine. You wanna go a little deeper, explode, load down, explode. You do not have to do these with me perfectly, like in sync. I know I'm all over the place. We've got a lot of info to cover, right? A little hop if you want. Okay, little hop. Hop. Oh man, I've not been talking enough through this one. Until I'm getting tired. It's only 30 seconds. It sucks. It's like somebody slow down the time. Is Christopher Nolan in here? I've been tenanted. Load, 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 explode. Load, 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 explode. If you notice, I'm throwing my arms down because the objective here isn't height. The objective here is recruitment. Recruit. If I was going for height, I would throw my arms the other way. We're not creating momentum right now. We're creating, well, recruitment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a deep burn. It's a deep burn. Okay, let's bring it back down to the mat. We got our pushing pattern again, this time with a focus on the eccentric. Any questions? Good, let's go. So I'm gonna start again. I'll start my timer. 3, 2, 1, load. Okay, hit those brakes as quickly as possible. Hit those brakes as quickly as possible. Hit those brakes as quickly as possible. Throw one knee down if you like. Whatever floats your boat. Hit those brakes as quickly as possible. 20 seconds in. I'm going to switch my knees at the halfway point and then go 10 seconds after that. And then I'm going to go back to full push-ups. I think that's what I'm going to do. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back. Whole body exercise. I'm switching knees. That's halfway. Remember, you can extend as slowly as you'd like. You don't have to go at my pace, but I need you to hit those brakes. Don't crash yourself into the ground. All right, here we go. 10 seconds left from this point right now. I'm going to full plank. Drop. Push right back up. Drop. Right back up. Last one. Drop. Right back up. Woo! Gun show. Who's going to the vet later? Because these puppies are sick. Okay, what are we doing now? We're hopping. We're hopping. If you want to do your foxtrot, find that beat. But you do have to go to the music. It's a quick foxtrot, but it's a good song. So now if you want to border hops, if you want to just step, that's fine. Time starts right now. Pick whatever you want to do. I'm going to go into the full border hop, try to find that beat. There it is. If you start carving big, that's fine. Harder to stay on beat, got to move quicker, got to ask quicker contractions from your tissues, and make sure your mat doesn't slide out. We got 5 seconds and we're going right to skiers. And 3, 2, 1, skiers. Now you can step if you want. That's totally fine too. I'm gonna take it to the moguls myself before I have to reset my mat. Start nice and tight. Keep it together. Oh, that's harder for me to keep the beat. That's because I'm a snowboarder, not a skier, I guess. It's funny how you get better at things you practiced at. Whew. Oh, bigger moguls. Bigger moguls. And 5. You can counterbalance with the arms. Don't forget to use your whole body to do those movements well. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was over a minute. I told you that was going to happen. Sorry, folks. We're almost done with round 2. We've got, what do we got? Sprawls. So you can make it up dog, down dog. You can make it the more powerful motion. Not more powerful, sorry. The more global version. But either way, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. I'm going to start with this because it feels pretty good. Heels down, hips high, nose to toes. And I think we're going to sprawl. Bring it up nice and quick. Down. Bring it up nice and quick. Down. Coming up on halfway. Up nice and quick. Down. Up nice and quick. Down. Stretch those abs. Up nice and quick. Remember, when you're stretching your abs, squeeze your glutes to protect your back, okay? And drive. I'm going to add a little more paprika, a little jump. Paprika. Oh, we got 10 seconds. This is terrible. Full burpee. Oh, we can do class without doing one. But at this point, it's in my blood. 3, 2, 1. Done. Nicely done. Right? That's round 2. That wasn't so bad, right? Yeah, we're having fun. Hydrate up. Grab some tap. Grab some water, fancy water, whatever. Oh, I can feel the athleticism pouring into my body. So, 5 minutes of work left. No big deal, right? You got this. Energy's either ramping up or maybe you're getting a little tired. Either way, your mantra, this is the last time I have to do this. All right, so repeat that to yourself. You're going to do great. Where are we starting? Oh, we're still down here, aren't we? Push-ups. So, first set of push-ups, we focus on the extension. Second set of push-ups, we focus on the flexion, deceleration. Alrighty, here we go. We start in 5, 4. Last time you have to do this. Give it your all. Don't sacrifice form though. 3, 2, 1, and down slow, up quick. I'm gonna go to one leg, up quick. Down slow, up quick. Down slow, up quick. Down slow, up nice and quick. Down slow, up nice and quick. That's 20 seconds in. I'm gonna switch legs because the last 20 seconds, I'm going to do my best to do full push-ups. But at this point, who knows what's gonna happen? Crazy times. Anything could happen. 5 seconds and we go full push-up. Remember, it does not matter how many you do. Here we go. You just gotta do them well. Lower down slow, up fast. Lower down slow, up fast. Lower down slow, up fast. Last one, and up fast. Yeah. Okie dokie artichoke, last set of squats. Legs are fresh, you know, so let's just get right into it. I'm gonna move my mat over here. I got a little excited doing when we hit the mountain earlier. So that's a little better. So squats, here we go. I'm gonna face this way so you can see what's going on the other side, but probably know what a squat is. We'll start with nice shallow depth, up quick. Half squat, up quick. I'm gonna do 5 of these because you know what? I feel like doing 5. I think that's 3. I can't count or keep time. Sorry for that late disclaimer. 4, 5. Now I'm gonna load a little bit more. Full squat all the way up. Yes, my heels are leaving the ground. That's okay. I'm gonna intentionally come to my toes. Down, intentionally come to the toes. Full extension and flexion of the body, balance. Okay, last 20 seconds. Who wants to join me in our squat hops? I do. Great, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Load, explode. Load, explode. Load, explode. Load, explode. Think raptor feet. That's a term I like to throw around that means bow. Remember those velociraptors in Jurassic Park gripping in with their massive talons? That's what your feet are doing to gain purchase and completely control your grip on the ground. Last one. That's 2 down. 2 down already. All right. Eccentric, decelerating push-ups. Here we go. Let's jump that blood back up to the upper body. I'm going to start regress. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And whole body exercise, movement. Tight and hit those brakes. Right back up. Hit those brakes. Right back up. I'm going to take one leg off the ground. Hit the brakes. Right back up. Hit the brakes. And up. Brakes. And up. I'm switching legs. You don't have to. You can do whatever form, whatever variation of this movement that you find works best for you. And guess what, kiddos? We've got 25 seconds. Oh, this might be a bad idea. Let's see what happens. Brakes. Worm. Brakes. Worm. Brakes. Worm. Flex the whole system. Worm. 5 seconds. Let's do one more after this. Beautiful. All right. Pushing's done. In whatever variation or portion you want to do it in, that's done for the whatever time of day you're watching this. Let's hit the mountain. So you've got your steps, you've got your foxtrot, however quick or slow you'd like to do it, but I want to go snowboarding. So if you want to join me, let's shred the gnar. 3, 2, 1. Time starts now. You can do tight carves. Maybe you got to get around something big. And you got to pause. But guess what? Practicing every scenario, every eventuality. Yes, I'm turning my board more now in the front. I'm going to switch around goofy. And practicing every eventuality, guess what? In this kind of lab setting, switch around again. In this lab setting is going to bulletproof your body to deal with that should it arise in sport or life. All right, I'm bored with snowboarding. Let's get some skis. Here we go. Oh, last set. Make it count. Remember, you can just hop tap. You can do ice skaters if you want. I think ice skaters are kind of like, they're a little overused. But we can get a little more creative. Big moguls, big tree. Whoa. Back to the other side. Shred the gnar. I'll see you at the powder 8, Brody. And 10, 9, 8, make them big. 7, make them bigger. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, nice job on that. That's 4 of 5 done. I'm sweaty. You're probably sweaty too. Unless you're just watching it, you're probably not very sweaty. Unless you just get really excited watching other people work out. Oh, that's kind of weird. You should join in. Join in. There's a lot of benefit here. So, last movement. pardon me, I'm salivating. Last movement is sprawls, right? Could be up dog, down dog, could be popping up, whatever. Take this time to breathe. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, downward dog. Upward dog. Downward dog. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Oh, I forgot to start my clock. Just kidding. We're 20 seconds in. Upward facing dog. I'm going to pop forward into my sprawl. Down, sprawl. Quick stand. Down, sprawl. Quick stand. Down, sprawl. Quick stand. Sprawl. Quick stand. Down, sprawl. Quick stand. Quick stand. And guess what? We've got how many seconds left? I don't know. 15 seconds left. I'm going to speed it up. Let's just see how much I can get out of this workout. I'm going to have a little jump. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Nicely done. Fit familia. Bring it down to the ground. Take a sip of that water. Now, this is the most important part of the workout because everybody skips it. It's called the cool down stretch. So after you probably haven't been talking as much as I have through this, so I'm going to take a sip of water and catch my breath in that reverse order. And why is this so important to do a cool down stretch, you ask? Because our muscles are like hot lava right now. They're bubbling. I want you to sit in a little baby deer pose like this, kind of a 90-90. And all we're going to do is lean back, windshield wiper those legs over. So the muscles are kind of like hot lava right now. They're very susceptible to influence, i.e., if you're going to sit in a chair or sit on your couch or sit anywhere. Think of all the places we sit, right? Cars, buses, bikes, couches again, desks, whatever, right? So things tend to cool in that position, right? Hamstrings are going to lock up, glutes are going to go to sleep. I'm sorry, not hamstrings, well, they might lock up. Quads are going to shorten up. Glutes are definitely going to go to sleep. Calves are probably going to hang out at this kind of neutral position, which doesn't do anybody any good if you can't dorsal or plantar flex. It's just going to be that more difficult to do it. And the shoulders are probably going to go into a position reflective of your environment, which is a wheel to steer, or a pan to saute, or a tablet or phone to click away on, whatever, keyboard. We're still windshield wipering. Alrighty, so let's take full fold. Anyway, so that's why the cool down stretch is so important. If you want to go just, hey, what's up? These are my calves. Grab your calves. Drop that head. The head is a very useful weight in this position. Since we're very hot right now, I'm going to go ahead and green light you swaying back and forth. You can add a little bit of rotation from the head. The neck can hold a lot of tension. The neck does hold a lot of tension, especially if you're a Tex necker or a upper body cross victim, as many of us are. Oh, good stuff. Now let's take it to a hurdler's lunge. Oh, hurdler stretch, rather. Excuse me. I'm just going to fold this back. This can be a lot on the knee. So if you would like, you can stand up and do this, or you can, what's a variation we could do? Let's say, how about this? Find something to hold on to. I've got a mountain bike hanging from the ceiling. That's probably safe, right? And we're just going to rock our quads out, right? That's a variation for this if you'd like. Everybody else, if you want to do your hurdler's lunge, that's fine. Go ahead and switch if you've been doing one side of the hurdler's lunge, just about 10 seconds. Squeezing into the glutes to create that reciprocal inhibition of squeeze on one side of the bone or the joint, get longer and relax on the other side. Then relax everything, squeeze and relax. That works if you're standing by your hanging bike also. So let's go into a crab stretch. This crab pose, not really a crab stretch, but this is great for the shoulders. What I want you to do is you're going to take your fingers and put them, they can be, somewhere past like 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock, depending on what side of the clock you're on. And what you're going to do is you're going to open your chest, and I want you to scoot your hips forward and then bend your elbows just a tad. And then from this position, we can kind of sway side to side. I think this feels fantastic on the deltoids, on the pectoralis. I feel it's in the intercostals, the rib meat right here. But hey, we're all a little different in how we're built. And our movement practice is represented in our tissues. So this might not do it for you like it does for me. If you want to add a tabletop in there to get some hip extension, totally fine. Externally rotate to add those biceps in. 2 more of those. And then we're going to end in a child's pose. I like to favor one hip, like I'm loading my left glute, and then I'm loading my right glute. Find some imbalances that way. Some interesting things to program. Some of your clients or friends might have issues that you can kind of figure out doing this kind of self-observation. Okay, so let's go tabletop before we go into a cat-cow, into a child's pose. So let's big inhale, let that head hang. Big exhale from the mouth. Big inhale, tuck the tail, let that head hang, looking at the navel. Stare up at that ceiling, up at your third eye, whatever your focus is, as long as it's up. One more time. Oh, I did it backwards. Oh, well. There we go. Beautiful. Now we're going to shift back gently into a child's pose. Oh, drop that head down. I like a nice wide child's pose here so I can roll my hips from right to left and get into those adductors. I'm going to crawl my fingers forward just a tad. Oh, you can feel the extension coming from my lats, from my triceps. And if I want a little more focus in there, what I can do is walk my hands into it, my arms, the bones, into external rotation. And I'm driving my palms and my forearms down into the ground. And this is that kind of, it's pretty active. It's an active pull on the triceps and the lats. It also gets way up into those parascapular muscles and just feels quite delightful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly draw it up. Let's have a sit down. Butterfly those legs. Bring those hands across the feet. Open the hips up. Well, gang, that's it for this edition of the Body Garage. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing your energy. And I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, solstice, equinox, wherever you are, whatever time it is. Hope you have a great one. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.